And we've got a brand new segment for you today. It's called The Campaign Beat, a daily roundup of news from the French presidential campaign trail. And I'm joined by Florence Villeneuve. Hi. And well, we're starting with the biggest story of the day, really, and that is, of course, last night's presidential debate, an unprecedented event in French politics. For the first time, all 11 presidential candidates took to the stage. They battled it out in a 4-hour live TV debate, a marathon.
It was really long, Brichelle. I don't know if you got through the whole thing.
I got to the end.
I got to the end.
Despite my early start this morning, I got to the end.
Because it was a little chaotic, kind of noisy, a little dry at other times. Must admit there were moments when I zoned out a little bit, but then there were some really exciting moments when the gloves came off, as you said. Now, I've pulled together a small selection of highlights of zingers, so you don't have to sit through those 4 hours. Let's start with the clash that's getting a lot of attention. This between the far-right leader Marine Le Pen and Emmanuel Macron, the centrist candidate from En Marche. Now, they really had the most to lose during this debate because they're seen as being the front runners here. And so they really didn't pull their punches during this question on Europe. Take a listen.
Nationalism means war. I come from a region which is filled with cemeteries, and I don't want to go back to that time in history. So let's never forget where we've come from. It's been 70 years that our country has lived.
You shouldn't present yourself as something new when you're trotting out these sayings, which are at least 50 years old.
Forgive me for saying, Miss Le Pen, but you trot out lies that we've heard for 40 years from the mouth of your father.
Now, Marine Le Pen also clashed with the far-left candidate Jean-Luc Mélenchon, and this was on the touchy subject of state secularism, laïcité, as it's known in French.
Such a thorny topic. Now, it all started when Marine Le Pen started talking about something that's called a crèche. Now, that is a nativity scene that depicts the birth of Jesus. They exist everywhere in the world, but they're quite controversial here in France because there's been a big debate recently as to whether they should be displayed in public areas, like in front of a town hall, during Christmas time. France is a very secular country, after all. Now, last year, France's highest administrative court, so the Conseil d'État, ruled that nativity scenes are more cultural than religious. This might be surprising for non-French people. And therefore, they ruled that these crèches, these nativity scenes, are compatible with France's strict state secularism, laïcité. But as you hear, it's still a very touchy subject.
Are part of our cultural heritage.
You want to put religious symbols in town halls? Is that your idea of secularism?
It's not just a question of religion, it's our tradition, and I know that bothers you, but French people are very attached to their traditions. They want to protect them.
You're wrong. 60% of French people don't have a religion. Give us a break from your talk of religion.
Nativity scenes in town halls, just like Christmas trees in schools, it's not just religious. It's part of our roots.
What roots? What are you talking about?
Well, quite a heated exchange between two firebrands, the far left and the far right. Now, throughout the campaign, you're going to give us the soundbite of the day, and today it goes to one of the lesser-known candidates.
The best zinger of the night goes to Philippe Poutou. Now, who in the world is Philippe Poutou? Rest assured, a lot of French people don't even know who he is, or didn't know until last night, because he really stole the show. He's the candidate from the far-left new anti-capitalist party. His day job is actually to be a worker at a Ford car factory. Now, he really stuck out from the get-go. He was the only one, you can see it, not wearing a suit. A lot of people pointed that out on social media. He also...
The crumpled T-shirt.
Crumpled T-shirt, open. It was controversial.
The hair. The hair.
And he also didn't take part in the official photo at the beginning of the debate. So he stuck out for those reasons. He also spent the debate talking at the speed of light. A lot of people picked up on that on social media. But he really stole the show for this exchange. Take a listen.
Fillon, who's right in front of me, riddled by scandals. The deeper you dig, the more it smells like corruption and cheating. And the National Front says it's against the system, but actually uses the system to protect itself with parliamentary immunity.
You're on the police's side for once.
Well, you see, when we're summoned by the police, we go. There is no workers' immunity. You're lucky, the system protects you. Good for you.
Now, you just heard, he got a round of applause. That was very rare during that debate. So he got a round of applause during the debate for that comment. And it was a really harsh blow for Marine Le Pen. Remember, Marine Le Pen is hell-bent on getting the working class vote. And it appears that that was a little bit of a zinger for her there.
Well, meanwhile, that comment by Poutou was widely picked up on Twitter, giving him his moment of fame on social media.
He certainly was a trending topic on Twitter. There was a lot of hashtag Poutou Président. Now, I pulled out just a selection to show you, but there were really a lot to choose from. I put out this tweet. This is from Morgan Giuliani here, who she actually took a screen grab that was shared a lot on social media. It kind of shows his unconventional style. He turned around while the camera was on him to talk to his team, and she imagined what she was talking about. Should I crush him or should I crush him? Now, a lot of people say that Poutou had the guts to say what none of the other candidates had to say, or at least none of the big candidates. And indeed, a lot of the smaller candidates in this debate have been applauded for saying what everyone's thinking, but not necessarily saying out loud. You can see this other tweet comparing him to 007, I guess, the one that no one expects. And this Twitter user saying, once again, that comment saying, workers don't get immunity from going to the police. That was the punchline of the night. So he wins the prize of the best punchline. Now we just have to see if that's actually going to translate into real votes on election day. We have 18 days to find out.
Indeed. Well, he certainly was a standout amid what was already a very colourful cast of characters. Right, so thanks very much for that, Flo. That was the campaign beat with Florence Villeminot, sorry. If you have any other questions about the campaign, be sure to tweet Flo at Flo Villeminot.